and welcome. I'm Matt Jones from Bedford Diluting and Detailing.com, and I have got a problematic car here in the form of a Tesla. Now this is a Tesla from around the corner from this unit. I'm actually situated in the design hub in Bedford, where we work alongside sometimes with the coatings that go on to vehicles that have been wrapped and various other jobs which coincide with vehicles and sign writing. And this is the detailing side. So this problematic car, it's for Rob around the corner from Easy Frame, a customer for many years now, and we're going to try and make it better, because this car is covered in gloss paint, which is not something irreversible, but something which can be removed in one way or another. I think the phrase goes something like more than one way to skin a cat. Not that I've ever skinned a cat before, but I'm sure there are several ways. So I'm not saying this is the best way to do it, but this is the way I'm going to approach it, and this is the way which I'm going to remove that said paint. There is paint on the wheel arches, which is going to give me grief, because I was going to steam it off, or attempt to steam it off, but the steamer has decided that it's not working. So I've got a Pulte steam cleaner. It's quite a good steam cleaner, but it's got problems and issues with the switches, and it's decided it's just not going to work at all. So I can't try that scenario. Worst case scenario on that is I'll actually paint it or dye it. That's probably the way forward. Essentially it can be left because the stones and grit will eventually get it off, but it is quite unsightly, so maybe the way forward on that is just to actually colour it. So that's how I'm going to approach that, if that's a problem which you have. So I've got various bits here which I'm going to use to try and get it off, and one of the scenarios I'm going to use is I'm going to try some thinners, because either way, if the thinners don't remove it, they will certainly soften it up. Some people are scared of using thinners. I'd say the rule of the thinners is that if it's got a clear coat, then you can use it. Do not leave it on the clear coat for too long. If it's a single stage, then do not use it at all. You can potentially use tar and glue remover, but that's when it's fresh. This has been on there for several weeks now, so it definitely is not fresh. So I'm going to use that on there. If that doesn't move at all, or you can go down the realms also, I've got one of Martin Cox's clay cloths. Now this can be bought from AutoSmart, and several other guys sell it. It's pretty much the same as any cloth out there, and it is exactly the same as other brands, but it generally tends to be cheaper than the rest because you're not paying for the name. No Martin personally, top guy, likes to talk more than me, which is quite rare, and he's got some good gear there, some really good pumps, and he's been in the industry for a long time, and he doesn't buy stuff that doesn't work. So this is what I use. It does come on different brands, but I'll send a link on the video if you're wanting to have a look where I got this from, and the two different grades. I'll be using the thinners more on the wheels, because these do, especially if it's cold. A little trick that I'll show you, or you'll see me using, is that the ambient temperature is inside here is good because you're air conditioned, so around about 20 degrees sort of temperature, which leaves it nice warm temperature, so the clay cloths don't get too hard. When these get hard, they mar an awful lot more. They do mar anyway, so if you do use a clay cloth, then my advice would be that you machine polish. So if you're not going to machine polish, then I recommend you don't use one of these. I want to keep the machine polish down to a minimum. On the wheels, I don't want to use this, so I'm going to use thinners and hopefully it gets it all off, because I don't fancy polishing all around the wheels. So hopefully thinners will do the trick on that, and it's got hard lacquer on there as well. Tesla's renowned for having soft paint, which it has, so repercussions could come from the basis of marring it. On the windows, steel wool, once again Martin. These are fine grade, so 0 grade wire wool. I'll show you close up these later on, and I will give you links as well on the YouTube video to see where you can get this stuff from. Failing that, also you can use a razor blade to get them off as well. I'll use a clay cloth on there. If that does the job, no problems. Starting off on the softer way first, same as machine polishing, fine grades first, and then if that doesn't do the job, then go your more aggressive route to try and solve your problem. So that is how I'm going to approach this car. Because we're doing the work on this as well that needs to be done, it's getting a machine polished, and on the basis we're going to do that is that Rob is having this coated as well. So this is going to be ceramic coated, so protected and enhanced, all paint enhanced and pretty much corrected in all fairness. And the last case scenario is, which I don't think I'll need, is that I could sand it. These are 3M discs, Trizact discs. If you haven't tried them, I've been using 3000 grit for a long time, but the 6000 and 8000 pads are brilliant. If you want to cut down your polishing on vehicles, then I suggest that you get some of these. They are fairly expensive, but they save an awful lot of labour time. I use them an awful lot. Essentially, the 8000 grit, you're pretty much on close to a heavy cut on the machine polish, but it's just faster. But obviously you do need to polish back those scratches you put in there, and potentials of pigtails, so make sure you've got a nice sander to do so. I use Rupes on that, and sometimes I even load it onto the Dewalt, depending on what vehicle it is and what needs to be done. So that is, those are my tools. Let's see how I get on. So I'm trying the thinners on here, and it's not really taking bits off as I'd like it to immediately. So I'm going to try the clay cloth pretty much immediately and see what that does.
Mark Knight and Armand van Helden. That was The Music Began to Play. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. But I am here to tell you that today is Wednesday, the 28th of December.
So this is my clay cloth, medium grade from Martin Cox. You find them on eBay. Not more than likely they'll be on Amazon somewhere as well. Auto Smart deal will have them, Auto Gloom will have them too. And I shall be soaking it in a warm bucket of water. You can see it.
As well, but first, let's do brand new Rudimental. It Break My Heart on Capital Dance.
The top quality Rudimental tune in the background. And that is having the exact desired effect. I could use lube on here. Let's try and get you a bit closer. So I've tried the scenarios which I spoke about before, and by far the best way of getting this off is via the clay cloth. It's taken it off quite nicely. So all I'm going to do now is that I'm just going to drop everything else, just go straight with the clay cloth, but I'm just going to put some soap into my water, which is actually KochChemie shampoo, reactivating shampoo, that is the one, just for lubrication to make it go a little bit smoother, and then it's going to be easier just to get this hole off. The marring is minimal, I can't see hardly anything at all, it's nice and warm, so happy days. That's the best way to approach this particular job, and that's the way I'm going to do it.
Feeling free? Okay, follow me. Follow me. Follow me.
So all done, our Tesla's all sorted, all the paint is off, and we've got the ceramic coating on, and it's looking hyper glossy, as you can see. Very happy with the job in the end. And the answer was using a clay cloth on its own with some soapy water, and that's what solved the problem. Might not be the case in every single scenario. The options are there which you could use, which I did use the actual thinners on the wheels. That did have the results I wanted to. That taked off all the paint without very little marring at all, so I don't have to polish too much at all, whilst the clay cloth would have done, as the Tesla decides to lock itself. So on the basis of the wheel arches, the answer really to the problem of the wheel arches was, or is, to replace the actual fabric underneath the wheel arches, because it's never going to be quite right. But to take that unsightly paint away that was stuck onto the fabric, I actually just used paint. I tried using Renovo, which is the paint, a water-based paint system for putting on cabaret roofs, which I didn't really hold much chance of it working, but I thought I'd try that first. It just didn't cover. So in the end, I just used a normal black paint, put it on there as a temporary fix, and if the customer wants to solve that problem, then Rob can go and buy some new expensive wheel arch covers for his beautiful Tesla. So that in essence is pretty much it. I'm Matt Jones from Bedford and Detailing.com, from the Design Hub, who I believe did all the nice bits of add-ons onto this car as well, and we've just made his car look brand new, better than brand new, in a couple of days. So if this is a service you're interested in, then please do contact me on the socials or via the website, the inquire button, or just send a message through YouTube link or wherever you see this video, and I will get back to you upon your request. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you in another video again soon. Teslas.